Hey, TikTok, how's it going? I am doing a live read here on TikTok and on YouTube for my YouTube channel, My Nay's Live Reads. Tonight I will be reading Fragile Union by Brooke Summers. So thank you for joining. I appreciate that. Where are you from? Hey, Leanne. Well, Leanne's gone. Hey, Pebbles, how you doing? I'm doing pretty good, I reckon. If I could get all my electronics to work right. Hey, Miss Liberty, how are you, darling? Sorry I was running late. You bring up YouTube on here and it like sucks all the everything else out of. Ooh, a naughty story. YouTube sucks all the bandwidth out of everything. Apparently now it's doing it to my Kindle. Dum, 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 dum. Dum, 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 dum. Whew. I'm finally off TikTok for the day, except for the live read. Thank you, Miss Karen. A dentist appointment and a chiropractor appointment this morning. So when I got to work, when I finally logged into work, they'd already done all my emails, so I didn't have anything to do a whole lot of. Just wait for new emails to come in and new phone calls to come in. So I feed your addiction, feed my addiction too. I had time to spare. Hey, Miss Shirley, her resident hooker. For those that don't know, Miss Shirley is a crocheter. And as we learned today on TikTok, crocheters are also known as hookers by definition. So, ooh, I bet you are. He was mighty fine. Mighty, mighty, mighty fine. All right, gang. I don't know where everybody's at. So I'm going to go ahead and get started because it's already 8 after 8. And we're going to get this show on the road. So tonight is book 3 in the Made series, like Made in America or Made in Canada. And it's called Fragile Union by Brooke Summers. Prologue, Romero. Put my glasses on. I keep my face straight as I watch the beautiful redhead walk into the room. She radiates calm and composure. She's surrounded by deadly men, and she acts as though it doesn't affect her. She's either not bothered or she's good at hiding her fear. I fight to keep my dick calm as she moves toward her aunt with ease, grace, and sexuality. Fuck. I want her. I'll have her. In a few months, she'll be my wife. You must be Romero. You must. No, it's more Russian. It's an Italian accent, so yeah, I'm sorry. You must be Romero. Dennis says, his accent thicker than his sister's. My sister-in-law, McKenna's, and woman, and that woman's is hard to understand at the best of times. Dennis, th- Dennis thinks he can intimidate me. His arms are crossed over his chest and his legs are spread apart. The scowl on his face is something that'll permanently be there. I'm marrying his daughter and he doesn't like it. Well, fuck that. It's business, fucking politics. I don't want to marry Holly. Hell no. I'm not the type of guy to settle down and have a family. I'm doing this because I'm getting something out of it. I'm becoming an underboss. Something I've wanted to be since I was a boy. Yes, I reply, meeting his gaze. Nothing and no one intimidates me. If he knew half the shit I've done, he'd be the one cowering right now. Dennis glares at me, and I fight the urge to laugh right now. Fucking hell. This is a farce if there ever was one. I'm marrying. Hey, Ray. Welcome, girlfriend. Hadn't seen you in a while. I got Ray B. Lake on TikTok, y'all. I'm marrying a woman I know nothing about so I can become an underboss for the Irish Mafia. What the fuck was I thinking? I should have told McKenna no. I could work my way up the pecking order once our father is killed. Why don't you three go to my office and talk? Dennis's father, Seamus Gallagher, suggests. I rise to my feet. May as well get this over and done with. I follow Dennis and Holly into Seamus's office and wait. Romero, this is Holly. Dennis says through gritted teeth as he introduces me to his daughter, my fiancée. Hey, she says softly, a timid smile on her face. Her accent is thick like her father's, but her voice is soft and willowy. My cock jumps to attention. Damn it. Well, okay, apparently I got this kind of backwards here. Romero, I thought this was an Italian mafia. This may be all Irish mafia, so I'm screwed up. Neener Beaner! Her accent is thick like her father's, but her voice is soft and willowy. My cock jumps to attention. Damn it. Holly, I say, rolling her name around on my tongue. I let my gaze travel down her body, taking her in. She's beautiful. Her hair is red and falls down her back, her cheeks and nose splattered with freckles. Her body is hidden behind an oversized sweater and jeans. But I watched her ass as she walked ahead of me. She's got curves and I can't wait to see them. I'm a lucky bastard. I know that. Holly could have been ugly and I would have been stuck with her. But she's not. I know you're becoming an underboss. I get that you're a made man. Dennis begins and Holly lowers her head, her hair falling to cover her face. I scowl at the movement. But she is my daughter. She's to be protected at all times. I grit my teeth. I may be a monster, but never to a woman. Ever. She gets hurt while she's here, and we're going to have a problem. She gets hurt while she's here, and we're going to have a problem. I shake my head. What is it with you Irish? I ask. You're too fucking emotional. Always wear your heart on your sleeves. Seamus was the same with Dante and McKenna when McKenna were to marry. They show us their weakness. You don't offer your enemy any information which can be used against you. Stupid. So fucking stupid. Dennis grins at me. No one is that fucking stupid, he sneers. Anyone who'd even go after my daughter would pay with their lives. I raise a brow. You're threatening me? Jackie! He shakes his head. The only reason that shit is going ahead is because McKenna assured me you're trustworthy, a man who would protect Holly with your dying breath. My sister is never wrong about people. Jesus, McKenna has no fucking idea who I am or what I've done. Not even my brothers know about the depraved things my father had me do, that I still do for him. If it keeps Alessio out of the old man's way, then I'll do whatever the fuck is needed for my family. We done? I ask, and Holly raises her head, her teeth clamping down on her lip, and her gaze darting between her father and me. Dennis's jaw clenches and he nods. I throw Holly a wink as she walks ahead of us and opens the door, a lot more relaxed than when she walked in. Dennis, on the other hand, is pissed off, and I can't help but smirk. I managed to piss him off. Oh, fucking hell. Well, he shouldn't have tried to intimidate me. That was never going to happen. But the man had better realize that I'd tear his head off if he continues his shit. I don't know what's wrong with me today. It's this headache. Oh, pineapple, huh? Well, I don't know about pineapple, honey. When I take a seat, Dante's eyes come to me. The question is clear. Did it go okay? I incline my head ever so slightly and he smiles. My older brother has always been the more composed, the more controlled of the three of us. He is also the one that toes the line with our father more than the rest. That was until he married his wife. I never thought I'd see a grown man lose his damn mind over a woman, but that's exactly what he's done. I get it. McKenna's fucking awesome. Not only is she the boss, she's also a badass and will kill anyone who even doubts her. It was it's what Dante needs. I, on the other hand, don't want the constant back chat and arguments. It's something Holly is going to learn. She is not to disrespect me. I don't give a fuck if she thinks I'm in the wrong in front of my men and my bosses. She is not to question me. Nina, this guy ain't for you. But at the same time, I don't want a woman that's scared of her own shadow. Her bowing her head while her father and I spoke pissed me off. I have no idea how this union is going to go. I've sold my soul to the devil, and in return, I've been given a red-headed, sexy fiancé. I shouldn't complain. But yet, I feel as though I've been shortchanged. Holly, 3 weeks later. He hates me. That's all I can think of when he looks at me. The tightening of his eyes, the clenching of his jaw, and the way he dismisses me whenever I'm in the room while others are there. My fiance hates me, and yet there's only weeks until the wedding. I don't want to do this, but I have no choice. I have to marry Romero. I've always known I'd be married off. I'd be used as a pawn to secure our strength in an alliance. It's been drilled into me from a very young age. I'm not like the other women in my family. I'm different, and I've always felt less than worthy to have the Gallagher name. McKenna is strong, dominant. She's fierce, protective, and loyal. She's the boss. She's also my aunt. Our family is a bit fucked up due to my grand, is it granda having my dog when he was young. Because this is all in Irish, and we know I don't speak Irish, and well, no matter how much Irish I got in me. Having my dog when he was young and then marrying the woman he was promised to. Granda moved to the States when he married the bitch. They had 4 children and left my dog out of their lives. I grew up without having him in my life, but I didn't miss him. I had my dog and my great-granddog. I didn't need Seamus. But since I've met him, I've realized just how great he is, and I did miss having him in my life. He treats me just as the other men in my life, like I'm weak and need to be coddled. Then there's Jade. She's my cousin, well, sort of. Jade's younger than me, but there's been talk about her becoming an underboss when the Irish Mafia takes over the Midwest. Jade was kidnapped when she was 7, and my aunt lost her mind with worry. Jade's da, Liam, took the very same stance our Uncle Killian did when McKenna had her throat slit. Man, I gotta go back and start with the beginning of this book. Liam wanted Jade to be able to protect herself, and she can. She's similar to McKenna, and everyone loves her. Holly, Romero says. I glance up from my laptop and see him standing beside me, his hand resting on the table and his cell beside it. He's staring at me in a way he hasn't before. His eyes heated and his lips thinned. I'm taking you on a date tonight. Be ready at 8. I blink. What? Okay, I reply softly, not sure what else I should say. I didn't want to go on a date with him. He made it more than clear that I'm not what he wants. Where are we going? I ask, and his eyes narrow. Just so I know what to wear. A dress. We're going to dinner. It's fancy. He grins at me as his phone pings with an incoming text. I'm unable to keep my gaze from straying to the screen of his phone where the text is currently showing. Georgina, I'm waiting for you. Hurry up. I'm horny. My heart slams against my chest. Tonight at 8, he says, and spins on his heel and leaves me staring at the table where his cell was laying. My heart breaks into a million pieces. I knew he hated me, and I knew he didn't want this, but I never thought he'd be with someone else. The tears slowly start to fall, and I wipe them away and remember what my ma used to say. Men don't define you. They do not own you. You are strong, and you are amazing. Remember that, Holly, and never let a man make you feel anything but perfect. Anyone who does isn't worth your effort, baby. Never give a man more than he can give you. I'm not sure what happened to my ma, but she used to be a good ma'am. Now I hate her. But she was right. If Romero wants to screw some other woman, then let him. I, for one, will remain a virgin until the day I die. I will not sleep with a man who doesn't respect me enough to be faithful. Once the tears are finally dried, I get back to work trying to keep my mind off what Romero's doing with a woman named Georgina. Well, at least I know this marriage isn't going to be anything like Dante's and McKenna's. Chapter 1, Romero, 2 months later. You know that Kenna wants to rip your balls off, Dante tells me with a smile. He's a twisted son of a bitch. He loves when McKenna brings out her crazy side. The more bloodshed, the better for the two of them. Nina, you need to be with Dante, darling. I glance around the room, wondering where the hell Alessio is with the damn bottle of whiskey. I need a damn drink. He disappeared almost 20 minutes ago in search of a bottle. I thought he'd have been back by now. Why? What have I done? I ask, wondering if she's extra temperamental now she's pregnant. Something about a woman that's here, he says. Holly is pissed. I frown. Why is she pissed? What's happened? He shakes his head. You really can't be that fucking stupid, he clips. Why the fuck is Georgina here? I mean, do you have a death wish? Fuck, does she have one? Now that's a question I want answers to. I want to know why that bitch is here. She wasn't invited. I made it perfectly clear months ago she was to steer clear of me, from me, and my soon-to-be wife. How did Holly find out about her? How did Holly find out about her? I thought you ended things with her before Holly came to live with us. My gut clenches as I remember the pain that slashed through Holly's face when she saw the text Georgina sent me. Georgina knew as soon as I agreed to marry Holly, our arrangement was over. She knew nothing would ever come from it. She was convenient and there. Easy. I don't work hard for my women. I never have. Georgina runs in our circle. She's in the life. And her uncle is head of the Carter Syndicate. She knows to keep her mouth shut. It's the only reason I kept her around longer than a month. I've never been one to give a fuck about what people think, But knowing my soon to be wife was hurting when she saw the message from Georgina fucking broke something inside me. Since that day, I've tried to get closer to her, show her I'm not that much of an asshole, but it seems whenever I make progress, I end up pissing her off and she'll glare at me. Are you listening to me? Dante demands, and I sigh. Don't fuck this up, he growls. You hurt Holly, and there's nothing I can do to save your fucking ass. Don't you understand that? Anger spears through me. When did he become this bastard? I stare at my brother in disgust. What happened to you? Where's the man who would rip anyone's head off if they even thought about threatening your family? He steps closer to me, his nostrils flaring as his jaw clenches. You're going to be an underboss now, Romero. It's time to be accountable for your actions. I shake my head. Ice, I scoff, using his nickname. You're not even there. You're not even there. You're letting your wife lead you around by the balls. Grow a fucking pair, Dante. He moves quickly so we're face to face, his forehead pressing against mine. He's got a few inches on me in height, but I have more muscle. You are my brother, he snarls at me. Don't you dare fucking disrespect me. I have your back. I always have. But you fuck up with Holly, and you're putting me in the position to choose between my wife, who is the mother of my fucking child, and you. That will piss me the fuck off. I don't say anything, and I don't back down. Fuck that. I'll stand my ground until the day I die. It's the way I was raised. Never back down. Don't give someone the upper hand. You always were a fucking little shit, he gripes as he takes a step back. I'm not going to war if you can't keep your fucking cock in your pants. I glare at him. If you must know, I told that fucking bitch to stay the fuck away from me before Holly even arrived in the States. Georgina obviously hasn't gotten the message yet, but don't worry, brother. I say through clenched teeth. You can reassure your wife I won't hurt precious Holly. He narrows his eyes at me. Just to let you know, brother, he fires back. Holly never told Kenna why she's upset. It was Alessio who let the little bomb of Georgina showing up drop. Holly hasn't mentioned you at all to Kenna, and that's why my wife is suspicious. Fuck. I thought for sure she'd have told her aunt about the text message she saw, but she hasn't. You bitches are quiet tonight. The door opens and Alessio pushes through. Over 200 people at this wedding, the majority of them Irish. Why the hell is there no fucking alcohol? Because if there was alcohol before the wedding, we'd have a fucking drunken mess on our hands, McKenna says as she strolls into the room. Would you mind giving Romero and I a moment alone? Alessio immediately slips out of the room, and Dante glares at me before following behind. I stand here and wait for her to begin her threats of what will happen if I hurt her niece. I think you and Holly need to talk, she begins, and I raise a brow. This tiptoeing around each other shit has got to stop. You're going to be married, and while I'm a bitch and will come out and tell you that you're an asshole if you've pissed me off, Holly won't. She buries it, lets it fester, and she grows distant. I cross my arms over my chest and tilt my head, studying her. I don't get it. Why is she here talking about this? Why are you telling me this? She says. I like you, Romero. I really do. I think you're a good man, and you'll be perfect for Holly when she gets over whatever the fuck happened. You'll protect her unlike anyone but her father can. You'll love her like no one else, and you'll cherish her like she deserves. I hold back the scoff. Love, really? Holly takes things to heart, way more than she should, and I can't blame her. That bitch of a mother of hers needs to be shot for the way she treats Holly. So my niece is closed off and tries to protect herself by keeping her guard up. Fix whatever the hell happened, and then be her husband, Romero. McKenna, where the hell do you get this idea that I'm going to be this fucking perfect husband. I don't do love. I don't even want a fucking wife. I know, but have you considered what this means for you? She says. I frown, and what the fuck is she talking about? Holly is untouched, Romero. She's going to be yours. Yours to protect, yours to cherish, yours to love. Only yours. Her words are like a punch to my gut. You need to stay out of my fucking head. I scowl at her. She's the only one who seems to get inside of me and see past the darkness. She grins at me. Think about what I said. You've never had that before. But you also have to realize that neither has Holly. She's never had anyone that's all hers. What? I hiss. What the fuck does that even mean? She shakes her head. That's for Holly to tell you when the time is right. The door opens and I fully expect it to be Dante ready to reclaim his wife, but instead I see Georgina. Her brown hair cut shorter than usual, stopping under her chin. The dress she's wearing is a pale cream, almost on the verge of white. It's strapless and hits her mid-thigh. Her lips are twisted into a scowl as she glares at McKenna. Isn't it bad luck to see the bride before the wedding? Georgina sneers as she steps toward me. McKenna gives her a shark's grin. Oh, hun, I am not his bride, and you do not want to tangle with me. Now that's something I'd fucking pay money to see. McKenna kicking her fucking ass. What the fuck are you doing here, Georgina? I bite out, wondering why she's even in my room, or how she knew where I'd be. She runs her finger over the buttons on my shirt. I wanted to see you, she breathes as she pushes up against me. I thought you might want to have one last fuck before you marry the ugly bitch. My hand wraps around her neck. That's my fucking wife you're talking about, I snap. I've had enough of this fucking cunt. I told you months ago I wouldn't be going anywhere near your ass again. You reek of desperation. What did you think would happen? That you'd text me thinking I'd run to you? Her face is red and her eyes are wide. Romero, please, we were so good together. I shake my head as my fingers tighten around her neck. No, fuck, no. You do not act as though we were more than we were. You have a great mouth, and that's all you have going for you. Tears fall down her cheeks as she grips my hand. Please, she begs. I release her and take a step back. My gaze goes around the room, and I see McKenna's not the only one in the room with me. Holly, Dante, Alessio, and Dennis are all here too. Holly's eyes are wide, but the guys are all smug as fuck. This is the last time I tell your ass, Georgina. Contact me again, and you'll not like the result. Fuck with my wife, and I'll end you. She huffs as she rushes out of the room, not before glaring at McKenna and Holly. She even thinks of doing anything to my wife, and I'll make sure she'll regret it. I'll go after everyone she holds close. Seems as though Kenna seems as though Kenna was right, Dennis says into the silence. I turn to him. About what? He grins. Holly, don't be long, he tells her as he places a kiss on her head and before he, Dante, Alessio, and McKenna leave the room. I finally take her in, and as always, something in me stares. I'm not gone like Dante was over McKenna. That fucker practically fell in love at first sight. But I do have some protective instincts toward her. To say I'm attracted to her is an understatement. The woman is fucking gorgeous and funny as hell. She's quick-witted and always has a comeback. I'll bet they're usually aimed at me as I've pissed her off. She's wearing sweats. Her hair is in curls at the top of her head, and she's not wearing any makeup. Yet, she's still one of the most beautiful women I've ever laid eyes on. So, she begins, her voice soft. It's something I've learned about her. She never raises her voice, ever. You didn't go to her that day? I know you knew I saw the message. Her Irish accent soft. Sometimes I have to strain to understand her. Thankfully, not now isn't one of those times.
Yeah, I know. I'm not blind. I also thought you'd have the courage to ask me outright.
She narrows her eyes at me. You're an asshole. You're an arsehole most of the time, Romero. But what I think you wouldn't have gone to, why would I think you wouldn't have gone to her? The message made it seem as though you messaged her first. Her lips curl in disgust. I take a step toward her. Yeah, see, my Irish sucks. I take a step toward her like a predator inching toward its prey and smirk when she holds her head up high.
I'm a fucking asshole, Holly. I'm never going to change. I'm a depraved monster who has no qualms in slaughtering families. I'll happily do so with a damn smile on my face. You are going to be my wife. It's time for you to start acting like it.
She tilts her head to the side and studies me, and I realize she's more like McKenna than I realized. What do you want me to do?
Act like the princess you are. Don't let anyone fucking try and take what's yours. I can guarantee no one will be taking what's mine.
She raises her perfectly shaped brow, a smile tugging in her lips. I'm not yours yet. Oh, she's just fucking poked the bear. Possessiveness rears its motherfucking head, and I slam my lips against hers as my hands fly to her waist and I pull her against me. I'm loving that she whimpers as I push my tongue past her lips and possess her mouth, dominating it. Her moans are more than enough encouragement. I'm rock fucking hard and so close to pushing her against the wall and fucking her.
You're mine, Holly. I grunt, but then I pull back.
Her lips are swollen and pink, her cheeks red from the heat, and her eyes are wide with lust. She looks fucking perfect, and I can't wait until I finally make her mine. McKenna was right. Heaven Holly, who's untouched, will make me possessive of her. All of the women I've been with have been with either one of my brothers, and while I don't usually mind, I know I'd kill them if they ever thought about trying that with Holly. Fine, she huffs, but make no mistake, Romero, you cheat on me, and I'm going for your balls. I smirk at the angry threat. Gosh, she's fucking beautiful when she's riled up. She narrows her eyes on me. Why the fuck do you think that's amusing?
Chill, baby. Yeah, today's gonna be a good day.
If you say so. Ma's a fucking nightmare. She sighs as she rubs her chest. Do what everyone else does. Ignore her. She craves the attention. Just don't give it to her.
What's wrong with your mom? McKenna said she was a bitch.
I remember she also says she just had a baby. Holly's 20 and she has two older brothers along with her younger siblings. She glances at the door before her gaze swings back to me. Ma is a bitch, Romero. She hates her life, so she has to make everyone else's life miserable. Da despises her. I don't think he ever liked her. He's never loved her. But she hasn't helped matters. She's been fucking around on him since before they got married. I managed to keep the shock off my face. Fucking hell. Why is the bitch still alive? Don realized. Yeah, it was just his thoughts. Don realized when she was pregnant with Chloe, he knew she wasn't his daughter. She shudders, her voice willowy, her Irish accent always a little thicker when she speaks about her mom. I have no idea why Doc keeps her around. All they ever do is argue, and then she fell pregnant with Mary, who's almost a year, and I knew Doll was done. But of course, Ma got pregnant again, and Gareth was born last week. You'd think she'd have some sense. I mean, she has to know her husband will kill her, but she doesn't care. Fuck.
I don't have to tell you, I'm nothing like your father. But Holly, you even glance at another man and you'll regret it.
She narrows her eyes. Sleep with one eye open, asshole.
I chuckle. I mean it. I don't share. Not you, not ever. even try it, and I'll kill you. She rolls her eyes and pats my chest like I'm a child. When the hell did she lose her fucking shyness around me? Sure, whatever you say, big guy. We both know I would never do that. But I should inform you. Danny has taught me how to use a knife, and if you cheat on me, you'll lose your balls. She kisses my cheek and moves toward the door. Please try not to be late. I'm going to need alcohol around my ma, and the sooner the wedding ceremony is over, the quicker I get a drink. You Irish have a serious problem. She shakes her head, not in the slightest offended. No, we don't. We're able to handle our drinks. You're considered a lightweight if you get drunk after a few drinks. She grins widely at me. We'll see how you hold up. Go, baby. I'll see you soon. I'm not your baby, Romero. I'm not your baby, Romero. She bites, but she eases the sting by blowing me a kiss as she leaves the room. So, Alessio begins as they walk back into the room. That went a lot better than I thought it would have. What's that supposed to mean? Okay, McKenna says, clapping her hands. I love you guys, but you need to start getting ready. You've got less than an hour before the ceremony begins, which also means I've got to start getting dressed too. He's fine, Dante assures her. Go, we're fine. I turn my back on them and reach for my jacket. Once I hear the door close, I ask Alessio again. So? Rome. He shakes his head. We've all known McKenna's a badass, but Holly, if looks could kill, we'd all be dead. It's true what they say, redheads have a fiery temper. He's trying to piss me off. Whatever. I shrug on the jacket, wishing he'd found some whiskey somewhere. I could use a shot or two. He holds his hands up. I like her, that's all. My head snaps up and I pin him a glare. What? What? His eyes widen and I see the grin on Dante's face. Relax, Rome. It's Dante. Sorry. Relax, Rome. He's not going to poach. She's all yours. Dante tries to assure me, but the fucking grin he has isn't helping matters. Alessio runs his hand through his hair. Fuck. You were right. What the hell is with these Irish women? They make you all go fucking crazy. Dante slaps him on the back. Come on, let's go before he punches you. I can't wait for you to find your woman. She's going to knock you on your ass. I finish getting ready and can't help but wonder what the fuck is going on. Why am I so protective of Holly? I barely know her. Whatever happens, I'm not going down like Dante. He's lost his damn mind where McKenna's concerned. Chapter 2. Holly. Dad, please keep her away from me, I plead with him. Ma's already started her shit today, and I don't want to listen to it anymore. She'll be on her best behavior, I promise, baby girl. He pulls me into his arms, and I go willingly. I'm such a daddy's girl. My doll loves me, and he's not afraid to show it. He's the best doll in the world. When Ma was off doing God knows what, or God knows who, Doll was the one who would read me stories. He'd be the one who never missed a recital or a meeting with the school. He gives a fuck about his kids, and that's why he's the best man I know. Why is she even here? Malcolm asked, his teeth clenched and his eyes filled with pain. Something's happened with him. I'm not sure what, but I do know that he's changed in the past few months. Ever since we found out Melissa was pregnant. I adore my sister-in-law. She gives my Aunt McKenna a run for her money in the badass stakes. I'm worried about Mal. He's always been the quieter of us, always watching rather than engaging, but lately he's withdrawn and I hate it. She's your ma, you know what she's like, Dot says, and I roll my eyes. I've warned her she's wearing on my last nerve. You should have put her down a long time ago, Mal growls as he watches her saunter into the room. She's got some fucking nerve. Malcolm. She smiles at him as she walks over to us. When she reaches my brother, she goes to kiss his cheek, but he snarls at her and walks off. Well, that wasn't polite. What did you do to him? I asked. He's always been the only one of us who gave a fuck about you, Ma. So what did you do? She glances away, unable to meet my gaze, and that's when you know she's done something wrong. One day. Couldn't you just be a human for one bloody day? I cry. She narrows her eyes at me. Don't you dare talk to me like that. Are you fucking forgetting who raised you? I scoff. Ma, you gave birth to me. You didn't raise me. You haven't raised any of your children, and you certainly aren't going to raise Gareth. I mean, he's only a week old, and you've already left him. I bite out, having had enough of her. Holly, remember your respect, she hisses. She glances down at me. I'm in my robe, my hair and makeup are done, and I'm waiting to put my dress on. God, you could have lost some weight before you got married. Out, Daw snarls, his hand clamping around her wrist. You're done. I fucking warned you, bitch. I watched with watery eyes as Daw practically drags her out of the room. Don't cry, Halls, Malcolm whispers as he comes back into the room. She's not worth your tears, princess. I shrug. I should be used to this by now. She hates me. She always has. It shouldn't hurt anymore, but it does. It stings deep, and I'm angry at myself for letting her affect me. She's deflecting her shit onto everyone else, Halls. She's jealous and you're not fat. Far fucking from it. When you marry Romero, get him to feed you, yeah? I giggle at his words. He's always had this thing about feeding me. He used to cook me pancakes every Sunday while Daw had a meeting with all the men. Malcolm would ensure I was fed before he left to join them. Ma, talk to me. What's happened? I whisper, afraid he'll walk away and not answer, but at the same time, scared he will answer and whatever it is will break my heart. You know Mary, Chloe, and Gareth aren't Dawes. I nod. We all know, and we've tried to keep it under wraps, not wanting the men to find out Ma's an adulterer. Well, they're not the only ones. I suck in a sharp breath. No. The tears once again sprang into my eyes. His eyes are wide and he swallows hard. Yeah, princess, Ma's a fucking bitch and Daw ain't my Daw. I shake my head. He is your Daw, Mal. He'll always be your Daw. Don't ever say that to him. He'll be heartbroken. I know, he whispers as he pulls me into his arms. I don't know if she ever told him or not. Oops, looks like our bitches back on here. Uh, it doesn't matter. You're his son. I insist, knowing Daw, if he finds out, he's going to kill Ma. I'm in shock. I can't believe it. How did you find out? Ma was in a rage after Danny Boy's wedding. She was pissed and decided some truths were to be had. My heart sinks. Why is she so evil? I'm so sorry, I whisper as I rest my head against his shoulder. You know this doesn't change anything, right? You're still my brother, and I love you dearly. Love you too, Halls, he says in a gruff response. Come on, let's get you ready so you can get married. Where's McKenna? She'll be here in a minute. She's bossing everyone around. He chuckles. Sounds about right. Thanks, Hall. I'm sorry for being an ass and dropping this shit on you. Don't be. Ma did this, not you.
There's a knock at the door, and we both glance to see Daw walking in.
Come on, kiddo. It's almost time to go.
Mal drops a kiss on my cheek. Mal drops a kiss on my cheek.
I'll see you in there.
You ready, baby girl? Oh,
You ready, baby girl?
Daw asks once we're alone. Yeah, I whisper as my nerves start to hit.
He's a good man, Holly. McKenna would never have agreed if he weren't.
I nod because I know he's a good man. I also sense that there's darkness swirling inside of him. He's so intimidating. It takes everything in me not to squirm under his gaze.
Get your dress on and then we'll get you married.
I sicken a deep breath and smile. Okay, Di.
You look beautiful, babe.
Romero whispers quietly as we're greeting our guest. The wedding went off without a hitch, and thankfully it's so much different to the way McKenna's and Dante's ended. Babe? I ask while trying to hide my smile. He grins, knowing that I'm fucking with him.
It's either babe, baby, or doll face.
I blink. Doll face? His grin widens.
Your skin is so fucking pale and soft it reminds me of those fine china dolls my mom used to have.
Butterflies swarm my stomach at his words.
Yeah, doll face it is.
He leans forward and places a hard, chaste kiss against my lips.
I know things are going to be weird for us,
he says as he pulls me close to him, ignoring the people who want to wish us well. Thankfully, Daw, Danny, McKenna, and Dante greet them for us.
The way things started with Georgina and her crap, but you're my wife now, Holly.
Oh, I agree. She could start with her uncles for us some dessert, y'all. I'm just saying. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, ask her. Do you want a marriage like McKenna and Dante? I try and keep the hope out of my words. He says,
I'm not capable of love. I can promise you that I'll care for you, but I doubt I'll ever love you. It's not who I am.
I lick my lips as the pain slashes through me. So, what is it that you want? His eyes blaze with lust.
I want you. We're married, and that means something to me. I'm not my father, and I'm not your mother. We took vows, ones we're going to live by.
I stare into his beautiful brown eyes. I can do that, I promise him. I'll be your wife, Romero.
Rome, he tells me. My brothers call me Rome, and you can too.
I sink further into his embrace. Rome, I repeat, and can't help but think that maybe, just maybe, I've made a little headway with my rugged made man. Well, well, don't you two look cozy? The sneer is loud enough for us to hear. My lips snap shut and I grit my teeth as my body bristles. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, fucking Georgina. Dollface, Rome says so only I can hear him. When a bitch, any bitch, threatens what we have, what we're growing, you don't back down. You stake your fucking claim and make it known. You are mine and I am yours. I stand up taller and face her. He's right. He is mine and I'm his. He's also the underboss and he deserves respect. I am his wife, the daughter of the head of the Irish Mafia and the great granddaughter of the original leader of the clan. I deserve the respect. And don't you look desperate, I say with a bright smile on my face. I mean, you've already been told nobody wants your skanky ass, and you're still here. Her cheeks pink as she stamps her foot. You little, I shake my head. Now we learned this shit when we're at school. You do not throw a tantrum when you don't get your own way.
Now, stop being a desperate slag and please feel free to go to the bar and get yourself a drink. I'm sure as the night wears on, the alcohol starts to flow and the beer goggles start to come round, you'll be able to persuade some poor unassuming fellow to bring you home. Romero's hand tightens on my hip. You were warned, Georgina. His voice filled with anger, and she shudders. I fucking told you what would happen if you came after my wife. She narrows her eyes at us. Why? She asks. Why her? What does she have that I don't? I suddenly realize why she's so desperate. She's lost the man she loves. So fucking much, he tells her, his tone getting colder by the second. Now, you've been told to. Oh, now you've been told to move on, Dot says, injecting himself into the conversation. You have a choice, he says with a wicked smile. You can go to the bar and get a drink. Fuck as many as you want. It's an open bar. But you stay. You leave my son and daughter alone. Or, McKenna says, stepping up to her so they're face to face, you can carry on being a fucking bitch and I'll have no problem laying you out. I don't give a fuck if that means going to war with your uncle. Georgina. The heavy sigh of a man pushing through the throngs of people has Romero on edge, and his hand on my hip tightens even more. What the fuck do you think you're doing? He grips her wrist and pulls her roughly to him. I apologize for my niece, he says to Romero, McKenna, and Dante. We'll be on our way. Like I said. Oh, like I said. I begin, and I see my doll smirk. If she can behave herself, she can stay. She's only upsetting herself. She doesn't matter to us. Atta girl, dollface. Romero praises me. Carter sorted her out. Dog rounds out, and it's weird to see this side to him. Around us, he's easygoing and fun-loving, but then he can switch so quickly. It's clear to see why he's the boss. Mr. Carter, please have a wonderful evening, and thank you for joining us in celebrating our union. I tell him with a bright smile. He's caught off guard. From the way Dawn and Romero are scowling at him, he didn't expect to have me be nice. Thank you, Ms. Bianchi. I think I said that right. Bianchi? He says with a smile. You're a lucky man, Romero. Congratulations. Fucking asshole. Romero grunts when Mr. Carter leaves. Dollface, can I just say, that was fucking epic. I mean, I know you were pissed, but you kept your cool and killed them with kindness. Booyah, Nina! In your face, sister! That's what I'm talking about. That's our Holly, Daw says as he kisses my cheek. Don't let the tramp get you down. Romero was right. You're so much fucking better than that bitch. She was so desperate for attention, she practically wore white to your wedding. Come on, let's get you some food. You've not eaten since breakfast. Romero says, as he begins to lead me away from the throng of people. So, to follow that up, Nina, I'm always having to bring Nina off the edge because she wants to go at everybody's throat like a darn pit bull or something, you know? So I always tell her, kill them with kindness. So she has this thing, WNND, or WWNND. What would Nene do? So this is a prime example of what Nene would do. So I guess I'm Holly, ha ha ha. Malcolm catches my eye and smiles. For those words alone, I know Malcolm approves. Holly, did you really have to wear that?
Ma sneers at me hours later. God, I forgot she was here. Somehow she managed to keep her mouth shut for a few hours and kept away from me. Georgina and Mr. Carter left a while ago, only staying for an hour before he dragged her out of here. I thought the drama and bullshit had left, but I was wrong. I watch in shock as Melissa reaches for Ma's arm. That's enough, Zoe, she says as she pulls her from the reception room. I go to stand, but Romero puts his hand on my shoulder, stopping me. Leave her, dollface. She's a fucking cunt, and if she says one more derogatory thing about you, I'll forget she's a woman and fucking end her. He's right. He's right, Halls. Leave her. She's obviously been pissing the women off today. What happens, happens. She deserves it, Malcolm says cryptically, and now I'm wondering if something is going to happen other than them talking. My eyes glance at the door they've just gone through and see both Dawn and Danny following the girls out. Melissa doesn't need this stress. She's pregnant. I'm anxious as I wait for them to return. Every time there's movement at the door, I turn to see if it's them. Finally, McKenna strolls in with a smile on her face. Your ma's gone to bed. She won't be down for the rest of the evening. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of the reception, she tells me. Mal laughs. What did you do to her? She shakes her head. Nothing. I didn't get a chance. I raise a brow. Huh? Romero throws his arm around my shoulders and pulls me into his body. Dennis beat you to it, he asks her. Not him, she says, but turns her attention to the door. I follow her gaze just in time to see Danny smack Melissa's ass. The two of them obvious to the fact that everyone's staring at them. They're so caught up in each other. They're in love. It's something I've always wanted. That all-consuming love that'll bring you to your knees. It wasn't something I grew up around. Didn't know if it truly existed. But it was something I craved. Now I know I'll never get it. That I'll never have that love that my brother feels for his wife. Deep down it hurts. It fucking stings. But I'm married now, and there's nothing I can do about it. Well, if it wasn't Da, who did what they did? Who and what did they do? Who did and what did they do? Mal asked, pulling my attention from Danny and Melissa. She did. McKenna points at Melissa. Your ma pushed us too far today, and Melissa snapped. She has a dislocated shoulder, a broken nose, a busted lip, and she was unconscious. Fucking hell, Romero mutters. Are all the women psychos? Yep, Mal says with a smile. Even our Holly has her moments. I narrow my eyes at him. No, I don't, he grins. You fucking do. You're more twisted than the rest of them. It's why you and Jay get along so fucking well, he says, talking about our cousin. I haven't seen her in a while. She lives in Chicago with my aunt, uncle, and cousins. I raise my head and glare at him. I resent that. McKenna throws her head back and laughs. It wasn't you who signed Alessio up. It wasn't you who signed Alessio up to the male porn monthly subscription. I bite my lip. Yeah, that was me. Or, she continues, it wasn't you who gave Killian's number out to the priest. I close my eyes as Romero's body starts to shake beside me. He still calls him now, trying to get him to see the right path, McKenna continues. And it wasn't you who added hair removal cream into Alessio's shower gel? Dante asked with a smile. You told me it was a faulty batch, Alessio fumes, his eyes wide as he stares at me. Those fucking magazines are still coming. You need to get rid of them. I smile sweetly at him. I have no idea what you're talking about. Dante snaps his fingers. It was you, wasn't it? I tilt my head. What was me? You're the one who changed all Rome's passcodes. He throws his head back and laughs.
Oh, I fucking knew it would be fun having you around. I just didn't know how much fun it would be. Oh, yeah, that was me. He shouldn't have pissed me off. Make sure you keep me out of your games, Dante demands. Don't piss us off. Oh, don't piss us off, and you'll be fine, Kenna assures him. And of course, it was the two of them bickering. Okay, and I'm going to end there. So, this is book 3. There's 2 books before this. So, and I don't know for sure, but I'm guessing you probably won't. What the crap is that doing on over there? Swear my TV is. It just comes on by itself. And of course, Sex Life was on. You guys missed it. Oh, if you haven't watched Sex Life on Netflix, go watch it. I mean, yeah, there's the big dong thing that everybody's talking about, but it's really a good show. I cried, I laughed, I got mad, and all that fun stuff. But yeah. Alrighty, so let's see. Yep, and say, bless your heart, Miss Pebbles. It is hot, isn't it? And isn't the plot's good too? The emotion in there is really good, I think. It's not just, I mean, the sex is awesome, don't get me wrong, but I like the story too. But that's just me. Alrighty. So thank you everyone who stuck around and while I read along. And go get books 1 and 2. Then tomorrow night I have Twisted something by somebody. Oh snap. Let's see. Whoops, that's not where I want to go. It's a good story, wasn't it? Okay, so tomorrow night I have Twisted Souls by Renee Sherrier. Sherrier, I think is her name. Sherrier. So that's what I'm going with. Oh, thank you, Redheaded Princess. Are you Miss Brooke? Because I really like this one. I've never heard of you before, but I like this one. So I will be going to get 1 and 2. All right. TikTok is off. Twisted Soul tomorrow night by Renee Shearer. Oh, hi, Sam. Nice to meet you, sister. All righty. So, Nina will share this with Brooke or you, however she does that, because she's the queen of my PA stuff most of the time when I can get her to do anything. Other than that, tell Brooke I really enjoyed it. I love that killing with kindness part. That's my motto. I'm gonna have it tattooed on me, believe it or not. And I will see you guys tomorrow night. So come back and enjoy. You guys have a good evening and happy reading.